Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing the truth in all sincerity. All right, this is the brother Aratazah, and I have an article here from independent.co.uk. It's titled "Hypersonic Missiles Being Developed by U.S., Russia, and China Could Spark War," experts warn. Okay, and you know, we basically like to go over a lot of prophetic news clips and articles and whatnot, just to further confirm that the prophecies are real, man. Okay, and we're living in a time of the major prophecy of the scriptures. All right, or I say one of the major prophecies rather is what Babylon the Great, okay, which is America, all right, being destroyed by thermonuclear fire, man. And particularly the missiles, all right, and you know, this thing could pop off in a matter of months. You know, it could happen. It could happen within the next 6 months, within the next year. You know, this thing is right around the corner, man, and the prophecies are constantly coming to pass, and things are speeding up. All right, and I want to get into this article. It's a pretty short article. It just goes into the fact that these nations are constantly upgrading their technology. All right, and it's really through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that these nations are constantly going through these upgrades, man. Constantly making their weapons and their missiles. They're making them more powerful. Okay, they're making them faster. All right, they're making them to the point where, well, this article is going to get into it. All right, so it says, starting here, it says world powers developing hypersonic missiles must ensure they do not fall into the hands of rogue regimes which could use them to threaten the globe, researchers have warned. Well, it's not going to matter, all right, who has the weapons or the missiles, all right, in their possession, because it's all through the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, these nations are going to have them anyway, and you know, the Most High is going to make them shoot them, man. All right, it's all according to biblical prophecy. All right, Bible prophecy says that Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed by fire. All right, these nations are going to shoot their arrows, man. All right, tells you that in Jeremiah the 51st chapter. Okay, so it don't matter it don't matter who hands they fall into. Okay, because the Most High is controlling everything. He's going to make sure they fall into the right hands, man. And these missiles are going to be shot. All right, it says the fast-moving weapons are a new class of threat because they are being designed to evade missile defense systems and would give nations less time to respond to attacks, a study by the Rand Corporation think tank has claimed. Right, so these weapons are being upgraded to the point where their radar systems are not going to be able to even see it coming, man. You know, these missiles are going to possess a certain capability of stealth, okay, where they could bypass certain technology, you know, or certain radars, so they can't be picked up, man. You know, and as a matter of fact, let me get a quick scripture. All right. Pardon me if my computer's kind of running slow. This is Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire." Okay, and the eye is talking about who? The Most High. All right, and the smith is talking about their you know, Esau's technicians, the engineers, and their scientists that sit and come up with these weapons, man. All right, it's all through the workings of the Most High. It says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I've created the waster to destroy. Right? The waster, or the instrument of his work, is the thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, their missiles are going to be being created ultimately for their own destruction. You know, they think this atomic bomb or the missiles or whatever is what they're going to use to take over and still hold power. But ultimately, man, it's for their own destruction. All right. So going back to this article, it says reading on, it says if the technology were to spread uncontrolled, countries might set their defenses on a hair trigger and increase the chances of missile-based strategic war breaking out, the author say. Yeah, and that's exactly the time we're coming into, man. These nations fighting a missile-based strategic war. All right, that's exactly what's going to happen. Matter of fact, since I'm in Isaiah, Isaiah the 9th chapter. All right, it said what did it say? It said, yeah, a missile-based strategic war. All right, that's exactly the time that we're going into, man. All right, this is Isaiah 9:5. This is for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Yeah, that's like how they fought wars in the ancient world. All right, you could watch like the 300 movies with the Spartans and the Persians and all that, the Greeks. You can watch the movie Braveheart that came out, I think, in the 90s. You know, it's a bunch of other ancient warlike movies where they display exactly what the scripture's talking about, man. All right, the confused noise and the garments rolled in blood. Reading on, it says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Right, and this is talking about this present time, man. Okay, this final world war. All right, it's going to be with burning and fuel of fire. So it's going to be a missile-based strategic war. Okay, that's exactly what was coming down to. That's exactly what's coming down the pipe. All right, for Babylon the Great, which is America. It says lead author Richard Spear said hypersonic missile proliferation would increase the chances of strategic war. It would give nations an incentive to become trigger happy. The world has less than 10 years to get a non-proliferation regime in place. It is suggested, right? It says hypersonic missiles threat comes not just from their extreme speed. They travel at a Mach 5 or higher. All right. And if you look up Mach 5 in terms of speed, I believe that's over 4,000 miles per hour. You see that? That's over 4,000 miles per hour. All right. If you was to convert Mach 5 into speed, I think Mach 5 they measure it by the speed of sound, if I'm not mistaken. So that's fast, man. Okay. And it's constantly being made to be faster. You know, it says they travel at a Mach 5 or higher, but also their maneuverability, a trait not present in traditional ballistic missiles. So even how they travel and how they maneuver is going to be far more advanced than their regular missiles, man. You know, and this is all the Most High putting the spirit on these nations to make their missiles like that. Okay, because ultimately America's gonna be destroyed, man. You know, it's clear as day. Matter of fact, let me get 2 Peter chapter 3. And I'm gonna just get right to the point. All right, this is 2 Peter 3:10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Right, because the masses of the people, or the majority of the people out here, all right, being Esau and other nations, and 2/3 of our own people, all right, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, all right, so-called Native and Simeon Indians, you know, you just lost, man. All right, your whole world is wrapped into folly, wickedness, evil. Okay, social media, TV, this garbage ass music out here. So the people are not occupied in prophecy, or they're not occupied in politics and geopolitics and certain world affairs. All right, like what we're reading about in this article. People are they completely lost, man. So the day of the Lord, which is ultimately the day when these missiles are being shot, all right, these advanced upgraded missiles, all right, that travel at a Mach 5 or higher, that day is the day of our Lord, man. Our Lord, whose real name, by the way, is Yahweh Shai, all right, not Jesus. All right, this is the day of his second coming. And it says it's going to come as a thief in the night, because the people are not expecting it, and it's going to take them by surprise. All right, it says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Right, when these atomic bombs and missiles drop, that's going to be the great noise, man. All right, and the heavens, which represent the kingdoms, all right, they're all going to pass away. All right, it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right, over a million degrees Fahrenheit, man. And what is something that could bring something of that magnitude, man? But what? Missiles. All right, bombs. It says the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. You know, and that's basically what we've been prophesying for years, man. Beginning with the apostles and elders. All right, we've been prophesying basically the very destruction of America. You could watch various movies on that depict that, like Knowing and Terminated. I believe it was Terminator 2, Judgment Day, if I'm not mistaken, and various other movies, man. All right, that show the very destruction of America. Reading on, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Most High. Right, and that's what we do, man. You know, the brothers that be of the hopeful elect. All right, the very sincere brothers. You know, we're constantly hasting. All right, hasting and waiting, man, praying, man, for that day of the Lord. Matter of fact, let me look up that word, hasting. All right, if I may.
Strong's G 4692, Spudo.
All right, Spudo. I'm not sure if it played the audio, but it says yeah, to haste, make haste, to desire earnestly. You see, and that's what we do, man. We you know, us that have the understanding and that is sincere in the knowledge, we desire earnestly that this day comes, man. All right, this day of destruction, because this very day is also the day of our salvation. All right, going back, excuse me, it says yeah, so it says verse 12 again, looking forward and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, or the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right, man, and that's the very day that's coming. All right, it's a day of fire, brimstone, destruction, desolation, wasteness, you know, all these different things. But at the same time, the Lord's going to deliver his elect, all right, from the four corners of the earth, man. It's a little more. It says Russia, China, and the U.S. are all developing their own versions of the technology. You see, so Russia, China, and the so-called United States, all right, the USA, they're coming up with their own versions of this new missile technology, man. You know, and why are they doing this? Are they doing this just because they ain't got nothing else to do, or they're bored, or they just got so much money they don't know how else to spend it? Nah, man. You know, this is all the chess pieces being moved in place. All right, to ultimately lead to America's destruction. All right, it says Russia, China, and the U.S. all are developing their own versions of the technology, and Rand researchers said they should agree not to sell or complete systems or major subsystems. You know, so that's pretty much what I want to read from this article. All right, you can look it up on independent.co.uk. You know, pretty much, man, it's highlighting the fact that, you know, is getting close to that time, man. You know, before you know it, these missiles are going to be shot and America's going to be destroyed, man. All right, it's all through the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, you know, with that, we always give all praise and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, rule well. Salutations to all you brothers that's pushing the word, no truth, sincerity. Shalom.